All right, and DD India correspondent Jessica Taneja joins us for more. Jessica, PM Modi will inaugurate the 3-day Raisina Dialogue. Now, how significant are multilateral forums like Raisina Dialogue, and how has India over the years been able to take lead in shaping a more multipolar world?
Well, it's the 9th edition of the Raisina Dialogues being held here in New Delhi, and as you pointed out, it's the premier forum that India had launched for enabling a dialogue which is more inclusive and perhaps brings in more ideas and more people and state actors into its fold. As compared to the last week's Munich Security Conference, there you saw, Siddharth, that if you look at some of the experts who also point out that Raisina Dialogue over the years has become significant in two aspects. Of course, it's given India the moment to say that it has arrived, and indeed it has. Well, the country's economic success is not doubted at all. Apart from that as well, India being the enabler or providing a platform like these where discussions sort of pave away from the issues of the West and take into consideration the issues of the global South. And if you see how it has been structured in taking the narrative each year to build its step further to be a representative of that region. Now, in the last year's Raisina Dialogue, you would recall, Siddharth, the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni had arrived along with various other high-profile EU ministers, including EU's Foreign Minister Joseph Borrell. So even this year, we're expecting a lot of representatives from the European Union as well, and not to forget from Latin America and the African Union, where India had a substantiated success under its G20 presidency of including African Union in the G20. And this is what India had proposed in its Raisina Dialogue last year that has led to the fruition of inclusion of the African Union and Global South. So this is just one of the aspects of what platforms or multilateral forums like Raisina Dialogue have been able to achieve so far.
Okay, and Jessica, what all can be expected from the Greek Prime Minister's visit?
Well, as you heard my colleague Amrit Pal there, it has been quite fruitful so far when it comes to infrastructure development as well. You look at the focus at this point is on the India-Middle East economic corridor, which he also pointed out that Greece being the gateway from the Mediterranean and for the trade routes and its shipping ports, which are very crucial for an integrated, connected corridor between the Middle East, India and the European Union. And that is just one aspect. We're also expecting a few announcements in the defense imports to Greece as well. If you recall Prime Minister Modi's last visit to Athens, India became a strategic partner of Greece, and that was the first time, although their historic ties always existed, but this also enabled more trade between the two and certainly more cooperation in other sectors as well.
And Jessica, can you tell us something about the theme of this year, which is Chaturanga: conflict, contest, cooperate and create?
Well, the Raisina Dialogue has chosen these with quite a lot of recent developments in mind. If you look at the themes, and I could tell you briefly, as pointed out in the press statement that has been put out, there's going to be talks about tech frontiers. Of course, India looking like a technological, innovative hub at this point. We've seen a lot of investment in green tech as well, and in the sector of AI, not to forget semiconductors. So there's a lot of interest, and expect a lot of deliberations on that as well, where we sort of concisely put out what all agendas, apart from just tech, if I may point out, could take place. Of course, war and peace, as you pointed out, the conflicts in both Middle East and Ukraine have sort of hampered global economic trade, affecting not just the Middle East and Europe, but also, to an extent, India as well.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Jessica, for your analysis.